Hi, this is my short seminar on running drills and looking at the overhead mini hurdle walkover drill. The keys of this drill really is a motor patterning stride technique drill, but also emphasises the posture and awareness of the athlete, their balance in transferring weight from one leg to the other, and also looking at hip and ankle mobility through their running pattern as well. This is the drill being performed in front on and then from side on, and it's just using the mini hurdles variety that is common to most people. Just to note, this athlete through this seminar suffers from cerebral palsy, so there'll be inconsistencies with his technique due to his neuromuscular control that he has, but found this a very useful drill to work with him on that basis to develop his control. Some of the key points for this drill is keeping the bar over the crown of the head and the arms straight, almost pulling the bar apart. Walking tall, looking at that flex in the knee and the hip as we step over in a simultaneous fashion. For the alignment of the hip, knee and foot from a front on view, and pulling that toe up to step over the hurdle, ready for ground contact. So going through the different phases of this drill, you can see toe off here, so it's pulling into the more stance phase in that front leg. So the recovery phase, so pulling the heel up towards the gluteal line, but flexing the knee and hip at the same time as we step over. Going through that stance phase where the leg swings through into more of an over position, preparing the foot to come down for the foot strike, and therefore it's a transfer of weight, the extension of that front leg over the hurdle, keeping the body nice and tall as we transfer onto that toe off position and back to the start of the drill from there. Looking from front on through those points, again, we really get to see the alignment of the hip, knee and foot, moving through the different phases and the balance between left and right as we go through. So the key things you can see here through recovery is that knee comes up as we go through the stance phase, where that foot comes in line with the midline of the body as it steps through, the balance between left and right. On foot strike, is there a transfer of weight that's nice and even? As you can see, the bar overhead's shifted, and then the transfer again on that final stage, going through into the next stride. So watching the drill in full motion here and then in slow motion, you'll get to sort of look through those key points again and see the differences and the challenges that can be presented. And you can see with this athlete here, with the balance on his right side being the affected side, the compensation that he starts to make on that right leg to get into a good position to stand for the next stride. And you can see the bar pulling down to the left hand side. That's him anchoring himself to try and balance on that right foot and compensate for it as it steps over and comes through. For this drill, very useful in a warm-up situation, just to get the athlete movement going, keep them mobile, get them focused on their mechanics, their postural awareness, their body awareness as well, and just really highlight some of those key messages that you're trying to go through to get them working. Other options we'll see later is you could use lower hurdles if they haven't got the mobility in the hip range to perform this exercise correctly, and then you can make it do it faster as well once they've got the hang of it. You can also see here as he goes through probably his weight transfer. As he steps down onto that hurdle, he could probably bring his hips through a little bit more. So as he transfers to more of a running pattern, the hips are over the foot strike, just to keep that horizontal force and horizontal movement going. You can see he maintains a nice tall posture, lengthening himself out, and the hands overhead really challenges the center of gravity being raised and whether he can then balance himself from left to right foot. Some of the common faults that we see is that the arms will bend or move forward due to a lack of flexibility. The hips will drop left or right, and so you'll see the shifting pattern of balance. The hips will rotate internally, and therefore the foot will go around the outside of the hurdle, or they'll rotate externally and almost sort of swing around the hurdle as well. Or the knee extends at the front in sort of an overstride pattern over the hurdles. Some of the variations we talked about is just using low hurdles, so that there's just an easier pattern. You reduce the mobility requirements of the athlete, and you get them to step over and practice that pattern. or you can then get the hurdles, keep them low, but make them still walk over a high hurdle the last minute so that they imagine it and not stop hitting the hurdles from there.